Let's move on to the next topic in Grammatikvermittlung im Lehrwerken, Grammatische Progression. So Grammatische Progression means the selection and the order of execution of grammatical exercises. The weightage of the exercises explained in the grammatic structure also plays a role as a part of grammatic progression. The Stoffverteilung, meaning the language elements distribution, the grammatical technical terms, and the order of the grammatical structures all are a part of grammatical progression. The teachers for their class should be able to select a progression level. Progression in short is basically a simple way of increase or decrease in difficulty levels or the technical levels of the grammatical structure. Now to teach grammatic, you must also have progression in it so that the students learn from easiest form to the hardest form. Now to select the corresponding progression, you must actually follow the following tips. First one is Vorkommenshäufigkeit, meaning how often a particular structure is being used in the language or in Alltag situation. Second one is the difficulty level of the structure, how hard it is. Is it simple or super hard? That is one factor which will decide the grammatic progression. And finally you have linear and cyclical progression. We will see all of these things one by one in detail in the coming slides. So first, Vorkommenshäufigkeit von Strukturen. So this has been explained with a simple example. So when a grammatical structure comes very often, then that should be practiced and introduced first. So in this case, nominative. Nominative is the subject form. So it is like ich bin, ich, etc. So most of the time when you are being asked to tell about yourself, then the nominative form always comes. It's a person, so ich, du, etc. So it is used for introducing yourself, it is used for naming things as well, and it is very often and always comes with verbs. So when you have a choice whether to introduce nominative, accusative or dative, then you must choose nominative because this is the one which comes very often. So almost all the verbs require a nominative completion. That's why you have to use the nominative first and then you have to go with the accusative and dative next. Now let's go to the Schwierigkeitsgrad von Strukturen. Here the recommended Reihenfolge order is from easiest towards the hardest. Now with our example, nominative, accusative and dative, you must couple it with the Vorkommenshäufigkeit. So in our case we will use nominative first and then we will use accusative next and then finally we use dative. So this is the way in which you use the Schwierigkeitsgrad to teach the grammatical structures. But when there are exceptions, then you must learn the grammatic als chunk. So for example, gib mir das Buch, seid bitte leise. These are all commands from the teacher. So these are using different grammatical forms which doesn't follow your nominative, accusative. In such a situation, just teach them as chunks and then later bring it as reference and then tell them this is how you know the grammatical structure for those commands which were issued back then. So chunks helps to define the meaning without any further explanation. Side beta laisa basically means keep quiet. So you can just learn it as a audiolinguale method drill. So that's how you teach Schwierigkeitsgrad von grammatical Strukturen. Then we go to linear progression and Zyklische progression. This difference is very important and is always asked in exams. So in a linear progression method, all the grammatic elements will be taught all at once of einmal gelernt. Whereas in a Zyklische progression, you will always introduce the element, go further and then come back and learn the same element again. This is one main difference. In linear progression, you won't repeat the same topic again. Whereas in cyclical progression, you will always come back to the same topic and then practice the grammatical element again. So linear progression goes only in one direction, whereas cyclical progression goes forwards and backwards. Though the differences are very simple, it's a very easy question to answer and get points in your test. Then comes the next question: can you change the progression in the book? The answer to that is yes, of course. You can change the progression when you are going to use a grammatical form for a particular communicative situation before it is being introduced by the book. That is when you will change the grammatical progression. Then im Lehrwerk so viele Regeln auf einmal eingeführt werden. So you will change the progression when the book now has got a lot of rules explained all at once. So in this case also you can change the grammatical progression. The main thing which is to be noted is basically when you are changing the Reihenfolge of the progression from the book, then make sure to inform the students as well that this has been changed during our class, so that they will also know what needs to be done.
With that, the chapter comes to an end. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment to the channel. If you have any questions, then contact me via email or put down your comments and I'll be able to reply. Thank you.